Let's get right into it. Number 10, eating wet bread. You ever take a bite of bread and suddenly feel like you're chewing on a kitchen sponge that's been marinating in sadness? Wet bread has this uncanny ability to bypass your taste buds and go straight to your brain's something has gone terribly wrong. Alarm. It doesn't matter if you were totally fine eating it 5 seconds ago when it was crispy and warm the second it soaks up liquid. It becomes an edible betrayal. This is probably because bread's whole brand is soft but structured, and the soggy version feels like it's given up on life entirely. Psychologists say part of the discomfort comes from expectation violation. Your senses were prepped for bread's usual texture, and instead, you got cold, clammy mush. It's the same feeling you get when you step on a bath mat that's already wet, unsettling, slightly gross, and vaguely personal. Your jaw's like, am I chewing food or swallowing an insult? Basically, wet bread is like a puppy that suddenly bites you nothing physically damaging, but you'll never look at it the same way again. Number 9, silence after a joke. You drop what you think is comedy gold into a conversation, you pause for laughs, and then nothing. Not a chuckle, not even a polite snort, just the sound of your own dignity quietly packing its bags. The air gets heavy, time slows down, and suddenly you're acutely aware of your blinking pattern. From a psychological standpoint, humans crave social affirmation, especially when attempting humor. When it doesn't land, your brain interprets it as social rejection, which, to your ancient survival instincts, is basically, uh-oh, the tribe might leave me to be eaten by wolves. So yeah, a failed joke feels way more dangerous than it logically is. And the worst part? Everyone else probably forgot about it in 3 seconds, but you'll be lying awake in bed 6 years later replaying it like a bad movie trailer. Comedy's a gamble. And sometimes you lose big, but hey, at least you gave them a story to tell about you. Number 8, walking through a spider web. You're just minding your business when whoosh, invisible horror net to the face. You flail your arms like you're trying to scare away ghosts, doing a weird panic dance that makes you look like you're auditioning for a zombie musical. And even after you're sure you got it all off, you can still feel phantom threads clinging to your skin hours later. The creep out comes from a primal place spiders meant danger to our ancestors. Walking into their web, that's basically like walking into their front door. Your brain doesn't care that 99% of house spiders couldn't hurt you, it's convinced you've just activated an 8-legged hitman. Plus, spider silk is sticky in the most unsettling way. It's not just on you, it's hugging you. It latches onto every hair, every pore, every ounce of your sanity. Even if the spider's not there, your brain keeps whispering, but what if it is spoiler? It never helps. Number 7, hearing your own voice recorded. You hit play and oh no, that's not you. That's some nasally stranger who sounds like they've been reading cereal box ingredients for a living. But nope, science says it's exactly you, just without the deep, warm tones your skull adds when you hear yourself from the inside. See, when you speak, your eardrums get sound from 2 sources, the air vibrations outside and the bone vibrations inside your head. Those bone vibrations add bass and richness. A recording strips that away and serves your voice raw, tinny, and unfiltered like hearing the diet version of yourself. The jarring part isn't just, oh, I sound weird. It's, oh, this is how everyone else hears me. Suddenly every voicemail, every class presentation, every casual thanks at the coffee shop replays in your head like a cringe montage. Congratulations, you now have a permanent audio identity crisis. Number 6, realizing your tongue exists. You were fine, just vibing, and then bam, your brain sends you a memo. Hey, did you know there's a giant slab of muscle just living in your mouth? Now it feels too big, too awkward, and you have no idea where to put it. Should it rest against your teeth? Should you tuck it in? You're hyper aware of its every move, like you just discovered you've been piloting a fleshy eel for your whole life. This is a classic case of hyper awareness, where focusing on something you usually ignore makes it feel unnatural and uncomfortable. The more you think about your tongue, the less automatic its movements feel. And of course, your brain being the petty little gremlin it is, won't let you forget it for a while. Eventually, you'll get distracted and your tongue will go back to its default just chillin' mode. But until then, you're stuck overthinking how to swallow, speak, or even exist without feeling like a malfunctioning robot. Number 5, someone watching you type. Typing is supposed to be a smooth, unconscious skill like breathing, but with more caffeine. But the second someone's eyes are on you, your fingers forget where any letters are. Suddenly you're back in 3rd grade, pecking at the keys like a confused pigeon. Every typo feels like a public humiliation, and you start to wonder if they're judging your word choice, your grammar, or the speed at which your brain processes the alphabet. The psychology here is called social facilitation, which can boost performance on simple, well-learned tasks, but completely tank it when anxiety kicks in. And typing with an audience, that's a perfect storm. Your working memory is split between write the thing and don't look like an idiot, and both jobs suffer. By the time you finish, you're sweating like you just defused a bomb. And for what? A 3-sentence email asking if Dave is bringing the snacks. Number 4, standing still in an elevator. There's nothing inherently threatening about a small metal box slowly moving between floors until you're inside it with strangers, pretending that silence is normal. You stand there, eyes locked on the glowing floor numbers like they're holding the secrets of the universe, praying nobody tries small talk. Then there's that subtle awareness of personal space too close and you're a creep, too far and you're just weirdly hugging the wall. The discomfort comes from a cocktail of social awkwardness and proxemics, the science of personal space. Elevators shove you into the intimate zone with people you wouldn't normally share a lunch table with, let alone shoulder contact. Your brain's fight or flight system quietly hums in the background, whispering, "We're trapped." With Larry from accounting, every tiny noise is magnified, someone sniffles, another person's stomach growls, the motor hum changes pitch and you start wondering if you're breathing too loudly. It's only 30 seconds, but your brain swears it's been 3 years. Number 3, using a public restroom in total silence. The moment you enter, there's already someone in the next stall. Neither of you makes a sound, as if you've signed a sacred pact of mutual denial, but your body's like, we need to make noises. Every flush, every drip from the faucet, every cough is suddenly a front row performance you didn't agree to give. This is audience effect, anxiety. Your awareness that someone can hear you makes you hyper-conscious of normal bodily functions. You start timing your movements with the sound of hand dryers or other toilets flushing, just to hide the fact that you're a living human being. The worst part. If they make a noise, it breaks the unspoken truce, and suddenly the restroom becomes a duel of who can pretend they don't exist better. You leave without ever seeing their face, but knowing you've shared a weird, silent intimacy that will haunt you for hours. Number 2, watching a video buffer. You clicked play, you were ready, you even adjusted your seat, and then freeze. That little spinning circle appears, mocking you with its infinite rotation, as if powered by your rising blood pressure. You stare at it like a gambler at a slot machine, hoping for motion, but knowing deep down it's about to ruin your mood. This irritation comes from temporal expectation. Your brain set a precise start time for the reward, and now it's been snatched away. The interruption triggers a mild stress response, like an itch you can't scratch. Add in the feeling of helplessness because you can't will the Wi-Fi to work faster and you've got a recipe for irrational rage. By the time the video finally loads, you've aged emotionally. Sometimes you don't even want to watch it anymore, but you do anyway, just to prove you didn't lose to a circle. Number 1, accidentally touching someone's warm seat. You go to sit down, maybe it's a chair in a waiting room, maybe it's on public transport, and instantly realize someone's body heat is still here. You're not just sitting on a seat, you're sitting in someone else's recent past. It's harmless, sure, but it feels like you've just trespassed into their personal thermal bubble. The weirdness comes from a mix of physical and social boundaries. Temperature is intimate, our brains associate warmth with closeness, touch, and sometimes even affection. So when you get that heat secondhand, it's like getting an accidental hug from a stranger's butt. It's not dangerous, but your mind can't help categorizing it as too personal, too soon. Some people try to sit really fast, as if speed will neutralize the awkwardness. Others hover, pretending to adjust something, waiting for the warmth to fade, which somehow makes it more suspicious. Either way, you'll be hyper aware of that seat until it cools down, or until you get up and leave your own ghost warmth for the next unsuspecting soul. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.